After you've completed an active session with Securely Classroom, you can go back in and see a history and summary of what your students were doing during that class period. To do this, when you're in the Securely Classroom dashboard, you'll want to go to the Classes tab. And then across the top, there will be one for Class Session History. This will list all of your sessions that you've run. You can click on any of these sessions to get a detailed overview. This first page will kind of show you a class average of where the students were during that class. You will have some class session details down here, and then just a list of any announcements, chats, or other commands that you gave and how many you gave during that time. You'll notice that the announcements and chats are linked because you could click on any of these tabs or the numbers down here to see your announcements that you sent to the class or individual chat messages with students. To see detailed student reports, you can go to the session students. Any student that was active during the session would be listed on this page. You can click the name of the student, and you will see that student's history. It will only give you the general URL, not necessarily the specific URL. So it says that this student was on YouTube for 4 minutes and 31 seconds, but it doesn't tell me specifically where in YouTube they were. So it's just telling me that they were somewhere in YouTube. Same thing with, ReadWorks and Google.com. They were at a specific article, but I don't see that as part of the history. Other things I can see for a specific student include any commands that I sent the student. So in this case, in this session, I locked the student's screen, and then I released it so they could continue working. And I also pushed out a URL link to open up on their device. If you took any screenshots of a student's screen during the session, those would appear in the saved screens. You can click on the image to see a larger view of that image. And then if you needed to, you could always right-click and save it if you needed to send that to a parent for documentation or anything like that. And then the last tab for an individual student's history is the chat history. And again, this would be the individual chat conversation that you had with that student during this class period. If you go to those announcements or chats features, again, these would just list all of the students, and you would click on that student's name and be taken right back to that individual student's chat history. You can return to the class session history and look at a previous or other session and go through as well there.